Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. How many people here are living their life just to impress someone else? Your family, your friends, social media, strangers on the internet. Every day we wake up and chase validation, likes, comments, praise, approval. But here's the truth nobody talks about. If you are not proud of yourself, none of that matters. Because the loudest voice you will ever hear in your life is the voice inside your own head. And if that voice says, "I'm not enough," no applause in the world will fix that. Real success starts when you stop performing for the crowd and start showing up for yourself. Not when people clap, not when people notice. But when you look in the mirror at night and say, "I gave everything today," that moment, that quiet moment, that is where pride is born. Too many people are waiting for permission, waiting for support, waiting for someone to believe in them. But listen carefully. Nobody is coming to give you permission to become great. You have to decide that yourself. You have to wake up early when nobody is watching, work when nobody is clapping. Stay disciplined when nobody cares. One of the biggest mistakes people make in life is living for the approval of others. From a young age, many of us are trained to seek validation. We want our parents to be proud, our friends to admire us, and society to accept us. We choose careers because they look impressive, we buy things because they make us look successful, and we post parts of our life online hoping people will comment and praise us. Slowly, without even realizing it, our decisions stop being about what we truly want and start being about what others will think. The problem with living this way is that approval is unpredictable and temporary. What impresses people today might not impress them tomorrow. Trends change, opinions change, and people move on. If your happiness depends on the reactions of others, then your confidence will always be unstable. One day you feel great because people support you, and the next day you feel worthless because they criticize you or ignore you. This constant emotional dependence gives other people control over your life. When someone stops living for approval, something powerful begins to happen. They start making decisions based on their own values, goals, and passions. Instead of asking, "What will people say?" they begin asking, "Is this the right thing for me?" This shift changes everything. Work becomes more meaningful because it is driven by purpose instead of praise. Effort becomes more consistent because motivation comes from within rather than from applause. Many successful people reach a point where they realize that trying to impress everyone is impossible. No matter what you do, some people will support you while others will criticize you. If you allow those opinions to guide your actions, you will constantly change direction and lose focus on your own path. True confidence grows when you accept that not everyone needs to approve of your journey. Letting go of approval does not mean ignoring advice or refusing feedback. It means understanding that your identity and self-worth should not depend on other people's opinions. Constructive criticism can help you improve, but it should never define your value as a person. When your sense of worth comes from your own effort, discipline, and growth outside, opinions lose their power to control you. This mindset also creates freedom. When you are no longer trying to impress everyone, you become more authentic. You speak honestly, you take risks, and you pursue goals that genuinely excite you. You stop wasting energy pretending to be someone you are not. Instead, you invest that energy into improving your skills, learning from failures, and building a life that feels meaningful to you. Over time, people who focus on their own standards rather than public approval develop stronger self-respect. They measure progress by their own growth, not by the applause of others. Ironically, this authenticity often attracts respect from others naturally because confidence that comes from within is far more powerful than confidence that depends on validation. Many people believe recognition from others is the ultimate proof of success. They wait for praise, awards, compliments, or public acknowledgement before they feel proud of themselves. But the truth is that real pride does not start with recognition from the outside world. It starts with self-respect. Without self-respect, even the biggest achievements can feel empty because deep inside a person knows whether they truly earned their success or simply chased attention. Self-respect is built through the promises you keep to yourself. It grows when you decide to do something difficult and you actually follow through with it. When you wake up early to work on your goals, when you stay disciplined while others are distracted, And when you continue improving, even when nobody is watching, you are quietly building a relationship with yourself. That relationship is the foundation of confidence. When you trust yourself to act with discipline and integrity, your belief in your own ability becomes stronger than any praise you could receive from the outside world. Public recognition is often delayed. Sometimes people work for years before anyone notices their effort. If someone depends only on external appreciation, they may lose motivation during those silent years when their progress is invisible to others. Self-respect protects you during that time. It reminds you that your effort still has value even when the world has not yet acknowledged it. The satisfaction comes from knowing that you are growing, learning, and becoming better than you were yesterday. Another reason self-respect is more important than recognition is that recognition can sometimes be misleading. People can be praised for things that are not meaningful or even honest. Social media, for example, often rewards appearance more than substance. A person may receive admiration for things that do not truly represent their hard work or character. If someone builds their identity on this kind of recognition, their confidence becomes fragile. When the attention disappears, so does their sense of worth. Self-respect works differently. It cannot be given by anyone else, and it cannot be taken away by criticism. It comes from within and is strengthened every time you make choices that align with your values. When you choose discipline instead of comfort, honesty instead of shortcuts, and growth instead of excuses, you reinforce the belief that you are someone who can be trusted by yourself. Over time, this internal respect becomes more powerful than external praise. It allows you to face challenges without fear of judgment because your motivation is not based on impressing people. Instead, you are focused on becoming a better version of yourself. You learn to appreciate progress, even when it is small and invisible to others. The satisfaction of knowing you are moving forward becomes more meaningful than public applause. People who develop strong self-respect often find that recognition eventually arrives anyway. Others begin to notice their consistency, dedication, and authenticity. But by the time that recognition comes, it is no longer the main source of motivation. Their pride was already built long before the world started paying attention. Hard work in silence is one of the most powerful habits a person can develop. In a world where people constantly share every step of their journey online, there is a strong temptation to show progress before real results are achieved. Many people talk about their plans, their goals, and their dreams long before they actually put in the effort required to achieve them. But true confidence is not built by announcing your ambitions to others. It is built through the quiet hours of focused work when nobody is watching. Working in silence means shifting your focus away from attention and toward improvement. Instead of seeking recognition for what you plan to do, you dedicate your energy to actually doing the work. These quiet moments of discipline are where real growth happens. Skills improve through repetition, knowledge increases through consistent learning, and character strengthens through persistence. None of this requires an audience. In fact, many of the most meaningful transformations happen in private, far away from public praise. There is also a psychological advantage to working quietly. When people constantly share their goals and seek encouragement, they sometimes receive a small sense of satisfaction before the work is completed. That early praise can create a false feeling of accomplishment, which reduces the urgency to actually follow through. By keeping your efforts private, you remove that distraction. Your motivation remains focused on progress rather than approval. Silence also protects you from unnecessary pressure and criticism during the early stages of growth. Every journey includes mistakes, failures, and learning experiences. When these moments happen publicly, they can discourage people who are still developing their skills. Working quietly gives you the freedom to experiment, fail, and improve without worrying about how others will judge your progress. It creates a safe environment where growth can happen naturally. Over time, this quiet dedication begins to build something extremely valuable: genuine confidence. Confidence that comes from silent work is different from confidence that comes from attention. It is steady, grounded, and resilient. When you know how much effort you have invested, you no longer need constant reassurance from others. Your belief in yourself is supported by real experience, not just encouraging words. Another important aspect of working in silence is patience. Many people want fast results and instant recognition, but meaningful success usually takes time. The quiet hours of practice, learning, and persistence gradually accumulate into visible achievements. When the results finally appear, they often seem sudden to the outside world, even though they are the result of long periods of unseen effort. This is why many of the most impressive accomplishments appear to happen overnight. In reality, they are the outcome of years of silent preparation. The late nights, early mornings, repeated failures, and continuous learning all happen away from public attention. By the time people notice the success, the foundation has already been built. Working hard in silence also strengthens personal discipline. When nobody is watching, the only thing guiding your actions is your own commitment. Showing up consistently without external pressure proves that your drive comes from within. That internal drive becomes one of the strongest forces for long-term success because it does not depend on outside encouragement or recognition. One of the most damaging habits people develop is constantly comparing their journey with the journey of others. In today's world where social media shows highlights of people's achievements, it is easy to believe that everyone else is moving faster, achieving more, and living a better life. This comparison often creates unnecessary pressure and self-doubt. Instead of focusing on their own progress, many people spend their time measuring themselves against someone else's timeline. The reality is that every person's journey is different. People grow up in different environments, face different challenges, and discover their passions at different stages of life. Some individuals find success early, while others take longer to develop the skills and experience needed to reach their goals. Neither path is wrong. What matters most is the direction you are moving in and the effort you are putting into becoming better than you were yesterday. When someone treats life as a competition with everyone around them, they begin to lose sight of their own purpose. Their goals slowly change from meaningful ambitions to attempts to outperform others. Instead of asking, "What do I truly want to achieve?" they start asking, "How can I be better than them?" This shift in mindset creates frustration because there will always be someone who appears to be ahead in some area of life. Comparison also hides the full reality of other people's lives. Most of what we see from others is a carefully selected portion of their success. We rarely see their failures, struggles, doubts, and years of effort behind the scenes. Judging your entire life against someone else's highlight moments creates an unfair and unrealistic standard. It leads people to underestimate their own progress and overlook the achievements they have already made. Understanding that your journey is unique allows you to focus on personal growth rather than external competition. Instead of worrying about how quickly others are moving, you begin to measure success by your own improvement. The question becomes simple. Are you better today than you were yesterday? Are you learning new skills, building stronger habits, and moving closer to your goals? This mindset removes a great deal of unnecessary pressure. Progress becomes more meaningful because it reflects your personal effort rather than your position compared to someone else. Small improvements start to feel valuable, and setbacks become opportunities to learn rather than proof of failure. When you stop comparing yourself with others, you give yourself permission to grow at your own pace. Another benefit of this perspective is that it encourages authenticity. When people are not trying to compete with everyone around them, they feel more comfortable pursuing goals that genuinely interest them. They are less likely to follow trends or imitate other people's paths simply because those paths appear successful. Instead, they build a life that reflects their own interests, strengths, and values. Over time, focusing on your own journey builds a stronger sense of direction and confidence. You become less distracted by the achievements of others and more committed to your own progress. Every step forward becomes meaningful because it represents growth on a path that belongs entirely to you. Success is often imagined as a moment that happens in the future. Many people think it begins when they achieve a big goal, earn recognition, or reach a certain level of wealth or status. They believe that confidence and belief will appear after they have already proven themselves. But in reality, success begins much earlier than that. It starts the moment a person decides to believe in their own potential and take their first step forward. Believing in yourself does not mean thinking you are perfect or that everything will be easy. It simply means accepting that you are capable of learning, improving, and growing over time. Every successful person begins with uncertainty. They face doubts, challenges, and moments when the outcome is unclear. What separates those who eventually succeed from those who give up is the decision to continue moving forward despite those doubts. Many people delay their ambitions because they are waiting to feel completely confident before they start. They want guarantees that their effort will work, that people will support them, and that failure will not happen. Unfortunately, that level of certainty rarely exists. Progress almost always begins in situations where the path is unclear. The first step requires a belief that your effort is worth something even when the results are not yet visible. When someone truly believes in themselves, their attitude toward challenges changes. Obstacles stop feeling like signs that they should quit. Instead, they become opportunities to grow stronger and more skilled. Failure becomes a lesson rather than a final judgment. This mindset allows a person to keep improving while others may stop trying because they interpret difficulty as proof that they are not capable. Belief also creates motivation. When you trust that your effort can lead to growth, you are more willing to invest time and energy into developing your abilities. You begin to practice more consistently, learn from your mistakes, and stay committed during difficult periods. Each small improvement strengthens your confidence further, creating a cycle where belief encourages action and action strengthens belief. Another important part of believing in yourself is ignoring the doubts that come from outside sources. People around you may question your goals, especially if they seem unusual or difficult. Some may offer criticism or express skepticism because they cannot see the vision you have for your future. If your belief depends on their approval, it will be easy to lose motivation. But when your confidence comes from within, those opinions have less influence over your decisions. Over time, belief transforms into resilience. A person who trusts their ability to learn and grow is not easily discouraged by temporary setbacks. They understand that progress takes time and that every skill is developed through practice and persistence. This perspective allows them to continue improving while others give up too early. Eventually, the results of that belief become visible. Skills improve, opportunities appear, and achievements begin to accumulate. To outsiders, it may look like success arrived suddenly, but the real starting point was much earlier. It was the moment someone decided to believe in their own potential and take action even when nothing was guaranteed. The most important victory in life is not impressing the world, but respecting the person you see in the mirror. When you stop chasing approval, build self-respect through discipline, work hard in silence, focus on your own journey, and truly believe in yourself, you begin to create a life that is meaningful and powerful. Pride that comes from your own effort is stronger than any applause. And when you reach the point where you are proud of who you are becoming, success is no longer something you chase. It becomes something that naturally follows your growth. Thank you.